Hey guys, Grimble here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be checking out My Adventures with Superman, Episode 3. So, last episode was a fun one. It really focused around Clark discovering his heritage, his Kryptonian heritage. By meeting Jor-el, you found out that he actually almost found out about his heritage as a boy. He uncovered this massive, I don't know what it was in the ground. I don't know if it's part of his ship or I have no idea. But whatever it is, it was Kryptonian. And when he stepped on it, it activated and he saw Jor-el, his father. And his father couldn't speak English, which I found hilarious because my friend Jason Marnoka voices Jor-el. So it was interesting to see that I was excited to hear him, and to see that he wasn't speaking any English was a little surprising, to say the least, but it was still cool. Great to hear his voice. Either way, Jor-el couldn't speak any English, and Clark obviously didn't know what he was saying. He was also very young, so it was all just a bit much for him at the time. And along with all of the speaking came a big opening underground. The Kents started falling into the hole, and Clark goes and saves them and decides, this is too freaky for me. Let's put this away, bury it again. I don't want to talk about this. And then later on, as an adult, he decides to revisit that and actually find out more about his heritage. He wants to know more about who he is. Eventually, he goes inside, does a whole Sailor Moon transformation, gets the Superman suit, and learns a bit more about his past and his Kryptonian family. Meanwhile, Lois and Jimmy are trying to find the woman that almost killed them so that they could find Superman. End up investigating this sewer tunnel filled with bombs and have to go out and face this woman again. I think she's Livewire. They never really said her name in the episode, I don't believe, but pretty sure she's Livewire. They also said her real name, which I think was Livewire's real name. It's all escaping me right now. But either way, Lois and Jimmy got caught up in a fight with her and about killed yet again. And then boom, Superman comes to save the day again, this time donning his traditional outfit. Jimmy gets the snap of it. They turn it into Perry, and Superman gets exposed to the world with Lois's name in the headlines. We also got a brief romance between Clark and Lois, broken up a bit by third wheel Jimmy, which more or less covers the highlights of the last episode. So I'm really excited to see how this continues on. I'm really enjoying the fact that they're introducing a romance between Clark and Lois really early. Wondering to see how long that lasts, or if they dive right into it or hold it back a little bit longer, do a will they, won't they type of situation. I'm also curious to see how long they all remain interns until they're promoted to full-on reporters. With that being said, please like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you already haven't done so. Check out my Patreon page. There's a lot of cool perks there. And with all that out of the way, let's get into My Adventures with Superman, Episode 3. If you guys are interested in signing up to my Patreon, you'll be able to take advantage of ad-free content, 3 to 4 weeks early access to all reactions, which for the middle tier and above can include the full-length watch-along reactions. Those that subscribe to the highest tier will also be supporting my game and animation studio, Little Grim Entertainment. You'll have access to a sneak peek look at all of our upcoming games and animated shows. Uh-oh. That's folding in really fast. Is he the only guy in there? Oh, that's just the pilot. I guess it's the front. Lois is rushing in because he knows. Or she knows there will be a Superman. Uh-oh. Multitasking. Attaboy, Superman. That's gotta be hot.
I'll take that as a yes. Who are you?
Perfect, I love it.
Just call me
Superman!
Yeah, that.
I'd like to interview you for the Daily Planet.
Sorry, no comment. Gotta go take care of that blimp.
Oh, come on, not again.
I already promised it to Clark Kent.
Just have a minute of your time.
Whoa. Invisible? Who's invisible?
All right, listen up.
Kyle!
Kyle?
Have you found her yet?
How many times do I have to tell you not to use our real name when doing crimes, roughhouse?
Oh, sorry, Kyle!
Kyle? Albert?
Hey, Kyle.
Yes!
Oh, so she gets to use her
Sis. He just said it's his sister, too.
Long story short, a crazy lady gave us stupid, powerful weapons.
We're busting you.
Nice.
For you.
That's sweet.
Amplify sound.
Oh.
Oh, you guys.
Just what I always wanted.
Drop your weapons and stand down. No.
That's creepy.
What was that? I said.
Couldn't hear you with the mask on. Oh, now I can hear you.
Hello?
Uh-oh. Red. Oh, he's gonna shoot lasers. Don't do that.
Lois, are you okay? You're not hurt, are you? I didn't see you. I mean, I did, but I got you. Coffee.
This is from Wade's Cafe.
You said it was your favorite. I happened to jog past.
Clear
Aw.
across the city.
It was a long jog. Are you sure you're okay?
I am now. Thanks to you.
Back, you monsters!
What's going on?
Oh boy.
Getting scooped is what?
Oh,
This
no.
can't be good.
Allow us to introduce ourselves.
Sports reporter Steve Lombard.
Yeah, gossip and human
Cat
interest.
Grant, there she is.
Ronnie Troop, investigative journalist. I apologize about
Happy
something.
now.
He thinks scoop means to steal, which it doesn't, Steve. It just means getting a story before another reporter.
And I'm scooping this.
Ah, not the Harry side.
No, wait, you can't just...
Harry assigned us the Superman beat. He said you compiled research we could use, and so we'll take this and get out of your
Again, what is with this team of reporters?
The story we wrote was perfect.
Look, you got a lucky break.
And why do they need a sports reporter on the Superman team?
We'll make sure you get an additional reporting credit when we're done. Thank you.
Scooped.
Information was given about the prisoners at a press conference earlier today. Suspects have reportedly used unknown tech weapons to escape.
That looks like the Tech Livewire head. That's what I've been calling
It is Livewire.
Flamebird.
Livewire nearly
Oh,
destroyed
yeah.
half the city with just one crazy weapon. With 3 on the loose. I have to track down those criminals and stop
What
them.
are their names, Jimmy?
I mean, write about them. I mean, we go to write about them. This is the story we should cover. We get the scoop for the planet.
And then Perry will have to take us seriously. What are we waiting for? Lead on, Smallville.
I'm glad she called him Smallville. I don't remember she did that before.
Didn't expect you to give up on the Superman story so easily.
Who said I am?
Please.
This is Bethany Snow.
Do you know her?
News, asking the question we all have on our minds. With sci-fi weapons and a Superman becoming the norm, what is next for Metropolis?
This is just all happening at once. I'd be like, what the hell?
What is it?
The last thing we got from the crazy lady. Allow Kyle to demonstrate.
Who's the crazy lady?
Stand back. More.
All I can think of is, what's her name from Apocalypse? The Grandma Goodness.
And this button turns it off.
Or not. Sometimes you just gotta smack it.
Also, how to convince them to let 3 interns talk to the warden.
And how to get her to reveal the government's secret metahuman soldier program on Flamebird.
Maybe not that one.
Yeah, no. I can get us in, but you have to promise not to be upset.
Why would I?
Is Jimmy right again? Is he just like... How does he know all this stuff?
You stole their badges?
No, I borrowed them.
Scooped them.
Secretly, when they weren't looking.
She scooped
That's
them.
the definition of stealing. There is no way me and Jimmy are gonna go along with this.
Dibs on anyone who is not Steve.
You look like a sports reporter, Clark. You got this.
Fine. Then we can go back and brainstorm how to interview Superman.
Second thought.
Sorry,
Who are you? We're the Daily Planet Star News team. Cat Grant human interest.
It looks totally like you too.
Then tell me all about it.
Ronnie Drew, investigative journalist.
This isn't even.
Mostly professional.
This is a woman.
Sports.
Anyway, we're here about the breakout, darling. What can you tell us about the...
Sadly, Clark is the closest to his name tag.
Exactly what I said.
She's not even gonna notice.
Siobhan's the leader of Intergang, a crew of small-time crooks who rob convenience.
Small time, huh?
Kyle, Siobhan, come outside. Stop using our real names.
Is that a camera?
And they are bad at it.
Some supervision would be good. There you go. Oh, does he not know what this is yet? Good, good.
She's written down times. Why?
That's a bank layout. They're planning to rob a bank.
But it won't be just any bank. Siobhan wants respect. That means it's gonna have to be the biggest financial center in the city.
The hardest one to crack.
The Metropolitan City Bank.
Those times. They must be when armored cars come in with cash transfers. It's 5:15 now, which means...
Uh-oh.
Going down in the next 15 minutes.
Well, gang.
Turned off that time.
What do you say? Let's get...
Wow.
Come on, let's get this and go!
I'll call the authorities.
And we'll go get captured.
Wait, what?
You call for help, Jimmy and I will get taken hostage, and then Superman will come and save us. That's when we'll get our inner...
She's delusional.
This was your plan the whole time? To find trouble, then ambush Superman when he flies in?
I mean, it worked when we did it with Livewire. You did that on purpose?
Banshee? Is that who that's supposed to be?
Clark, are you okay?
He's frozen.
Miss Lane, Mr. Olson, get to safety. For the well-being of the people of Metropolis, I need you to unfreeze everyone.
Please.
How about...
Oh, weren't expecting that.
I'll do it.
Whoops. This has gotta be from Darkseid.
Everybody get back!
Time for heat vision. So he figures it out. What's with the unfinished coloring? Here we go. Here we go. Chanting. I love it. Uh-oh. Robots. Where are those from? Just like that. Uh-oh, that guy.
Miss Lane, Mr. Olson,
Superman, we can't find Clark.
he's okay. I saw him phoning for help before I flew in. I understand you want an interview, Miss Lane?
What do you say we take this interview elsewhere?
I'd say, hold on.
Flying through the sky moment. They always have one of these.
Well, that's one way to sorry.
It's all right. I'm nervous too.
Easy, girl.
Well, let's start with the basics.
You like Clark.
Where do you come from?
I don't know.
How do your powers work?
This isn't going well.
I'm still figuring that out.
Who are you? What are you?
I'm kind of figuring that out too. Miss Lane, the truth is I'm still piecing together who I am and what I can do. But at the end of the day, I'm here to help the people of Metropolis. That's what matters.
Not to me. I need a scoop.
Lois! Wow! You got the interview! That's incredible! I knew you'd get it.
He doesn't have super acting as one of his powers.
Superman. Pretty great guy, right?
Oh, he's a liar.
What?
Classic Lois. Alright, so we just got finished with episode 3 of My Adventures with Superman. Yet another fun episode. It started off with the typical something wrong is happening in the city. A blimp has crashed and is falling, and Superman has to come and save the day. He does, and then Lois tries to get an interview from him, and as soon as she asks, he immediately says, "No comment," and flies away. Then we visit a prison where these two kids break in, essentially. One wearing an invisible suit and the other one wearing these super powerful gloves that give him superhuman strength. And we find out that they are there to break out the invisible guy's sister from prison. We also find out that they're not the most elegant criminals, as one of them is constantly using the other's real name as they're breaking into this prison, despite his warnings of, you gotta stop this dude. We also find out the name of this little group is Intergang, which, if you're a Superman fan, you know the name has been around a really long time. It's usually associated with a very large criminal organization that Superman has to fight and stop very often. They also mentioned that the tech that they have, that they're using to do all this stuff, was given to them by a quote-unquote crazy lady. The only thing I can think of is these are things from Apocalypse, and the crazy lady is Granny Goodness, who is a known associate of Darkseid's. Meanwhile, back at the planet, the gang finds out that Perry has assigned 3 reporters to the Superman story instead of them, one of which is Cat Grant, who is also another well-known Superman character as a gossip columnist for the Daily Planet. She has been seen in various iterations of the story. I remember first seeing her when I watched The Adventures of Lois and Clark, the 90s television series with Dean Cain in it. So they find out that they're trying to scoop the Superman story from them, and decide to scoop them first. They all go over to the prison, and Clark is trying to figure out how they're going to get in, and Lois reveals that she's stolen the 3 badges from the reporters that Perry assigned the Superman story. Clark reluctantly goes along with this plan, so they get into this prison, and they do these hilarious impressions of the people that they took the badges from. Lois doing one of Cat Grant and trying to put on her most pompous attitude possible. She even makes the comment, if it's not interesting news, I want to hear it. Just giving Cat a little bit of a jab as she impersonates her. And then, of course, Jimmy doing his best to impersonate the woman that he took the badge from, which clearly she seems like a respectable woman, so he's not going too crazy there. And then poor Clark over there unenthusiastically pretending to be a sports columnist. Which, why a sports columnist would be assigned the Superman story is beyond me. I can sort of understand a gossip columnist with Cat Grant. I mean, at this stage, it's sort of gossip, right? So few people have witnessed him, so it's not entirely certain that it's real. But a sports columnist, I don't know. Whatever. We'll just go with it. He was a fun guy. Anyways, they managed to get some information while they're in the prison that Intergang is going to go after one of the largest banks in Metropolis in order to make a name for themselves. So they all head over there, and they get there just as the bank's being robbed. And Clark decides to go call for help. At least that's what he's telling them. When in reality, of course, it's his way of trying to find a way to slip away and become Superman. And then Lois reveals that her plan the entire time was to get captured by these guys and held hostage so that Superman will come out and she'll have another chance to try to interview him, which is just, it was just ridiculous. Like, I don't, first of all, putting yourself in danger in the hopes that this time Superman will stick around instead of fly off. It's just, the woman is delusional, deranged a little bit. It was funny. It was good. I'll give it that. Anyways, Clark ends up getting out of there, changing to Superman, coming back, going in there, having a bit of a fight with them. One of them has the girl has the sonic mask that emits these loud sounds. And the only character I can think of, I didn't hear her code. They said the other two code names. I think it was Mist, and I forget the other guy's name with the strong gloves. Rough House is what they said. But the girl, I think, is Banshee. That's the only thing I could think of in terms of a Superman villain that I'm aware of. But anyways, he stops them, saves the day, unfreezes the city, and some EMTs come in to look after the people that are injured. And you find out one of them was the guy that was with Amanda Waller last episode, who was like the Marine guy, supposedly. Not sure what his deal is yet. I don't remember his name, but the girl he was with is definitely Amanda Waller, and she is another big Superman character that those of you that are familiar with the comics and the lore and even the animated series will be familiar with that character. And Amanda is usually up to no good, usually trying to do what she can to create superhumans to protect the world, quote unquote, against threats like Superman. And then Superman gets out of the building, and when he sees Lois, I think the expectation is that she's going to ask him yet again for an interview. But I can kind of see a look of shock on his face when the first thing she asks is, I can't find Clark. She's clearly worried for Clark. And I think that impresses him a bit. And also the fact that she was out there helping people when he told them to go to safety. I think both of those things really impressed him. And so because of that, he decided, you know what, I'm going to give her this interview. And he picks her up, flies her to the roof of the Daily Planet, and gives her the worst interview of all time. Like, she says, where are you from? I don't know. What do your powers do? I don't know. He's like, look, I have no idea who I am, what I'm capable of. All I know is I want to help people, and that's all that should matter, right? And he just flies off, right? And then he probably quickly flies back into the building and acts like he's just ran up a flight of stairs out of breath as Clark comes in. Lois sees Clark is okay, gives a hug, all that stuff. And, he asks what she thought of Superman, right? And he's such a great guy. He's awesome. He's a nice guy, all that, yada, yada. And she's like, oh, he's a liar. She didn't believe a word he said. And it was quite a shock to Clark to find out that that's what she thinks. But I really loved that. It's a very Lois thing to do. She's just very untrustworthy of people, and for good reason, right? She's a reporter. She sees the worst of the worst. She talks to terrible people most of the time. She's even the people within the Daily Planet that are all trying to get the leg up on each other. Like, she just doesn't trust humanity. And so to see this man that is supposedly just the epitome of good and kindness, she just doesn't believe it, which is ironic because she's seen nothing but that from Clark as well. So, you would think that she starts to believe that those types of people exist. Now, granted, Superman's a different case because he's got all these powers and he can do whatever he wants, really. And I think she finds it hard to believe that he's only there to help people, right? He has no self-interest in this whatsoever. I can understand that coming from her perspective of just meeting this alien. Well, I mean, she doesn't even know he's an alien. It's just this crazy, strong, and powerful person that just shows up out of the blue and helps people. Like that's a hard thing to buy right away. But guys, what did you think? Do you think it was right for Lois to be so untrustworthy of Superman right away? Did you think that maybe she should have given him a chance? And what do you think of Perry assigning these 3 reporters to the Superman story, despite the fact that Lois and Jimmy and supposedly Clark were the ones that discovered him in the first place? Does seem like kind of a low blow, even though I understand that it's a big story, so he wants seasoned reporters taking the story and running with it. But she did the legwork as well. They both did the legwork, and they got the results, and I think that warrants something. So what do you guys think? Do you think it was the right thing that Perry did? Granted, in his eyes, not knowing that, Clark is Superman, obviously, and Lois is eventually supposed to be this fantastic reporter, right? He doesn't know any of that. He just sees 3 interns that are running around causing trouble, and yeah, they got lucky once. So what do you think? Do you think it was worth giving them the Superman beat, or was he right in giving it to these veteran reporters, albeit 2 really odd, goofy reporters, and one of them a sports columnist for whatever reason? But that's all I have for this episode, guys. As always, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Take a look at my Patreon page, check out the perks, see if you're interested in any of them. The first 2 tiers are great for ad-free content, full-length reactions, and the last tier reserved for those that are interested in supporting my studio, Little Grim Entertainment, and the animations and games that we are working on. Guys, this has been fun. I can't wait till the next episode, and we'll see you guys in the next reaction.